Hey there guys, in today's video I am going to be showing you one of the most common ways to add texture for perches for your companion parrots. We are going to be using vet wrap to add texture to things, which is a very useful way to make a wide variety of perches very useful for your animals. So if that's something you guys are interested in seeing, you want to make sure to stick around because that's going to be coming up right after this. Hey there guys, this is Jack over at Hi Redbird, where I am tirelessly working to find new ways to make the keeping of exotic animals and pets more exciting, more affordable, and ultimately more enjoyable. And in today's video, I wanted to show you guys how to use vet wrap to add texture to your perches for your birds. Particularly if you're building something out of PVC, like the Ultimate Parrot Play Gym, you can use vet wrap to add a wide variety of texture to different parts of the perch. Now, I am not going to be demonstrating that on the Ultimate Parrot Play Gym because that thing got way too big. I felt like you guys couldn't see me around it. So instead I have a basic tabletop stand that I'm going to be demonstrating all of these things for you. And they're pretty straightforward. There's just a couple of things you want to keep in mind. Vet wrap is going to be a great way of adding texture to perches in an inside environment. If it is outside and exposed to heat, a lot of times people will find that the rubber inside the vet wrap will start to melt to itself. It'll leave a residue on perches. That's typically something you want to avoid. Now, if it's inside, you tend to avoid that issue. Vet wrap can also be an issue for birds that are prolific chewers. If they decide to chew on the vet wrap, obviously ingesting vet wrap could be problematic. So you do want to monitor your bird in this situation. You want to make sure that they are not going to have any problems with this, but it's pretty easy to do and it's very easy to keep clean. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into showing you how we put this together. All right guys, so here we have a tabletop PVC play stand that I'm going to be using to show you guys how to use vet wrap in order to add texture to your perches. Because obviously if you just build this out of PVC pipe, this can be a little bit slick for your bird's feet. So one thing you are going to need is obviously going to be vet wrap. And I'll tell you guys right now that if you get a brand new roll of vet wrap, the hardest part about this entire process is going to be finding the edge of the vet wrap. But once you do that, that's going to be very easy. Now the good thing about vet wrap is you're not going to need any adhesive to attach it to this. It is going to stick to itself. So all you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start by getting a good wrap around with the vet wrap. Remember, it's going to stick to itself. It won't stick just to the PVC. So until you get that first wrap around that perch and the vet wrap can stick to itself, it will slip and slide. But as soon as you get that wrap, you're good to go. And now you're just going to continue for as long as you want. So if you want to just include this center part of the perches, you can do that. If you wanted to incorporate things like the fittings to give you a little bit more texture, you can do that as well. Now the easiest thing to do is then to just take some scissors so you get a really nice clean line. Some people will just tear it. It is tearable, but it is very difficult to get a very clean line. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to press that into place, and then what I recommend is just going through and applying nice gentle pressure so that the bandage is cleanly sticking to itself. Now if you get the chance, you want to try to make sure that that end piece is somewhere where your bird isn't going to be encouraged to take advantage of it. If you had it at the very top of the perch, that could be problematic. So I usually will try to hide it underneath. And then the good news is if your bird ever goes to the bathroom on it or anything like that, sometimes if you can find the end, you can peel it apart and just take it off. Sometimes you do need to use your scissors to cut it away, but you can change it very easily. So that is what I mean when I say it is one of the easiest ways to keep a perch clean. Now you can apply this to the top of the perch. You can apply it to the sides as well if you want your birds climbing on the sides. But for a lot of people, the risers on a stand, they don't want the bird climbing up and down those because that's one way that they can control where that bird has access to. If you put vet wrap down the risers, your bird can very easily climb down. And we all know that birds, given the opportunity, do have a tendency to get into mischief. So that's just something you want to consider if that's how you want your stand to function. Now, one thing you can do, if you would like this to have a little bit more texture, you can use a piece of bird-safe rope. Here I just have some paper rope, and all I'm going to do is I am going to tie a knot on one side. This does not need to be the prettiest knot. We are going to cover this with vet wrap, but this rope underneath it will give us a little bit more texture. Now you're just going to go through and you are going to apply it as you think is best. You can apply you can apply a better knot first. That'll ensure that it doesn't slip away. Now you can apply it really closely to itself. And here I'm just going to use the rope to encompass that little piece so that it doesn't slip away from me again. You can, space the rope a little bit further out if you want. This is just going to give us a little bit more variety in the perch. Now, once I have as much as I want, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut that. I'm going to tie a knot on this side as well. I'm probably going to end up cutting it again just because this will give me a lot of slack, maybe more than I want. Or no, I'm just going to tuck it under there. Again, the name of the game here is variety. Now we're going to go with our vet wrap, and we're just going to do the exact same thing, but it'll be a little different this time because you can see I get that one wrap. I want to make sure that that's pressed in on itself like I did before. And then, as I do each subsequent wrap, I'm going to go ahead and just work it through with my hands because I don't want to create something that is loose. If it's loose, the bird has the ability to get caught in it. The bird has the ability to maybe think it's something fun to chew on. But if I then, there we go. You can see I went this way and then I came back. And now you can see that that perch definitely has a lot more variety, definitely more than you would be able to get on just a 3/4 inch piece of PVC pipe. Now, you want to make sure that the rope you're using underneath is bird safe because while we are not expecting our bird to chew through the vet wrap and have access to that rope, they might. That's always a possibility, so you just want to make sure that it's not something that is going to be potentially hazardous for your bird. And you're going to want to have a little bit of patience. As you saw as I was working with it, the rope did just get a little bit finicky, a little bit tricky to work with. So just be patient. I guarantee you that whatever you can provide for your bird in terms of this, just to give them that little bit of extra variety, they will appreciate. So I do want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any more content. And I will see you guys next time. I need to say thank you to my Patreon patrons for helping to make these videos possible. You can find out more by visiting Hi Red Bird on Patreon or clicking the link in the description section down below if you would like more information. Thanks!